We're here at Atlantic City for the 25th anniversary for the Warp Tour, for the Mind Your Business special. We're going to get into action sports and skate with Andy Macdonald and all the extreme sports legends when we come back. Hi, I'm Barry Farber, and this is Mind Your Business, a special that we're going to look at action sports at the Warp Tour in Atlantic City. We're going to have a special guest join us. We're going to go on the ramps. We're going to learn how to fall, get up, learn new things about skateboarding, because we have the world champion skateboarder. The guy's on a postage stamp. He was in every X Games since its inception. He has 23 gold medals. Andy Macdonald, my friend, I got my client, this is my idol, right? Okay, so thanks for coming on, Andy. It's finally happening.
Yeah,
coming to New Jersey.
I'm here. That was some introduction.
It's nothing. I could go through the whole list, but let's start out with this. You came from Boston. You know the whole story. Maybe you don't. People don't. 1992, the fall. You went to California. You know, what I love about you is your work ethic, your focus, your discipline, what you do differently. You're not afraid to be different, too, and not afraid what people say. And let's start off at the beginning. What was it all about?
They're all things that skateboarding taught me. Growing up in New England, I did all the team sports. I played soccer and swim team and basketball, gymnastics, wrestling, did all the team sports, and then I found skateboarding, and right away I was just like, this is what I want to do. Like, I don't want to have some coach tell me how many laps I need to run in order to, win the state championship this year. I want to just keep skateboarding. I'd be skating to soccer practice, like, man, I just want to keep skating. And it was interesting because I ended up making a much stricter training regimen for myself, skateboarding, with no coaches or anything than any coach would have been allowed to, because I just skated all the time.
You loved it.
Before school, at lunch, after school, like any spare minute I had, I was skateboarding. And that was the fun part, the training, the practice. I mean, you would never call it training for skateboarding, especially back then, but that was the fun, just the constant creativity, and I learned these lessons in self-motivation and self-discipline, and learning how to fall and get back up and trying the same trick, repetition, over and over and over. Skateboarding's hard. Like, the first thing you learn to do is to fall off your skateboard.
We're going to see if I fall too. You're going to teach me something on the ramp to see if I can.
That's the first thing you learn.
In 1973, I had a Logan Earth ski with road riders and tracker trucks, and I would go down the street. But I haven't been on a ramp in about 40 years. So we'll see if the
see how he does.
Okay. But I want you to share with the audience how you went to a situation where, look, you're coming from Boston. You don't have tattoos. You don't smoke. You don't drink.
Yeah,
that's a song. What do you do?
Adamant.
Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do, hinder my performance. I guess that's why I never did it. That right there is my idea of getting high.
I mean, to me, skateboarding is about individuality. It taught you, like, you can be whoever you want, and because you're a skateboarder, you're welcomed into this fold, this kind of brotherhood, this kinship of skateboarding, and I didn't have to fit in. I didn't have to, but because I had like this cleaner image, because I never drank or smoked or partied and didn't have tattoos or whatever, and a lot of skaters did, I was kind of like, even in the most radical of groups, if you stray from the norm, you're going to see hard times. And so throughout my career, I was always known as like this clean-cut, kind of goody two-shoes skateboarder, and just went with it because that's who I am. I don't want tattoos. I've never liked any piece of art enough that I'd want it on my body for the rest of my life, so I just never got any tattoos. And the first time I took a drink of some beer, I was like, oh, it tastes terrible. I went right back to drinking my root beer, eating my Skittles, and that's been it since high school.
Candy is your key.
Yeah, candy's definitely my vice. But yeah, so I mean, I kind of used that as kind of the catalyst in my relationships with sponsors and building my career. I was the skater that made it okay to, I was the first skater to have a drink sponsor, for instance. And I was the first skater to ride for Sobe Beverages. And people were like, iced tea, juice, like, and I'm like, yeah, you get thirsty. I've been drinking it anyways. And then I showed up at the first contest with a Sobe sticker on my helmet, and people were like, oh, sell out, blah, blah, because they're not endemic. They're not a skateboard company. But I could speak both languages. I could speak to like the corporate world and marry that with the core skateboarding world, and kind of built my career on that. And throughout the past 30 years, I've worked with companies from Sony to Lego to Verizon Wireless to Swatch watches to Amazon, and it's really just like being able to live in both of those worlds. And I've still always maintained, Rapid Powell Peralta. They've been making skateboards for 40 years, and I've been with them for 22. So I was with Airwalk shoes for 26 years. The skateboard brands have always had a relationship with them at the same time. So I've been able to live in both those worlds.
I'm lucky to work with him as an agent on his book, Simon & Schuster, and management. But the reason why I wanted to have this show, and it's special to me, is because it's kind of the business side of Andy. Is you know more about the clients that you're introduced to than a lot of the people who work there. That's what, and I believe that just adds so much value to sponsorships. Talk about that in the action sports world when it's so unique compared to NFL and MLB. Well,
I mean, first of all, it has to come across as genuine, right? So if I'm going to work with a company, I have to be psyched on their product, genuinely psyched on their product. Like, I have to use it and like it. There's a lot of pro skateboarders out there that are like, I ride for such and such energy drink, and they don't even drink it. They're just like, I just do what I need to get the paycheck. And like, I'm lucky enough that I don't have to do that. And so from the get-go, if I'm going to work with you, it's because I like you, and I like your brand, and I like what that brand represents. Specifically, I'm very much about the environment and healthy living and clean, lowering your carbon footprint. So I've been lucky enough to work with Patagonia, for instance. Patagonia just changed their whole mission statement is save the planet now. They're a clothing company, but their mission is save the planet. So the things that they do, I mean, they really put their money where their mouth is. Like, Yvon Chouinard is the CEO of the company, and he just got this big tax break. They're a big company, and the Trump administration just gave all big companies this giant tax break. He took all the money, $10 million that he got in this tax break, and he donated it to small nonprofits that are helping to save the world.
Right.
So, that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm lucky enough to be able to work with companies like Patagonia. Cliff Bar is kind of a co-op, the way that they handle their employees. They use mostly all organic, as much organic ingredients in their bars as they can, and really believing in a product is where it starts. And then I'm an expert in my field. I've been doing this for 35 years, and I know, I'm a youth market consultant as much as I am a pro skateboarder, because I've been there. I skate with these kids at the skate park every day, so I know how to market to them.
There's something to say about for the partnership with Drug Free America. You did the first commercial. What is it? The first.
I was the first athlete that the Partnership for Drug Free America used in a public service announcement.
Right. You spoke in Washington, the White House, and Clinton. And
introduced President Clinton. Yep.
I'd like to start just by first filing a sort of disclaimer here. I'm a professional skateboarder. I ride my skateboard for a living. I don't usually do this meet the president stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present to you the President of the United States of America.
Andy, you might consider politics when you get out of skateboarding.
Skate on the White House.
Got to skate in the White House, yep.
Right.
First guy to skate in the White House. The Secret Service agents weren't nearly as excited about it as I was.
If you go to andymacdonald.com, you just see his history of career accomplishments are insane to even cover on the show. But I want to go right into something that I feel is really important. A lot of people are afraid to try something new because they're going to look foolish in front of people. They're going to fail. They're going to have a setback, rejection, all the kind of things that stop us. Fear stops more people from moving forward. And I want to understand the deep richness of skateboarding, of when you are skating. And we'll talk about it on the ramp too, but what is it about to get out of your mind about anything out there influencing you, and do what's pure in your heart. But have you had any adversity and setbacks to talk about?
Certainly. I mean, every day that you skate, there's like, when you're on the road and you're traveling, you're on tour, the kids at this demo don't know that at the last demo, or like this morning, we did a demo, at 9 a.m. at the Boys and Girls Club skate park. Had I sprained my ankle there, the people that are at this demo this afternoon, they don't care. They just want to see like you did in the video, So there's always like times when it feels like work, right? But this is what I love to do, and I would be doing it whether I was lucky enough to make a living doing it anyways. So you really have to just kind of put all that to the side and really perform and do like you can. And you have off days and good days and bad days, just like in any job. But at the end of the day, like I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm getting paid to ride this useless wooden toy, and I've been able to make a living at it. So very few people can. Yeah.
You have a beautiful wife, 3 children. Talk about family life and how that's enriched you later, as you've gone through this.
Everything I have in my life, I have because of skateboarding. I met my wife through skateboarding. My kids, my car, my house is all because of skateboarding. I'm able to afford those luxuries because I'm able to make a living in skateboarding, and of course, all my kids were on skateboards before they could walk.
Of course.
But I'm just thankful all the time that they've. It's because of them that I still get to do what I do. I thank my wife all the time because I literally couldn't do what I do if it weren't for my wife.
The wives are the best. We're lucky. We're gonna take a break, baby. We'll go out to the ramp. We'll see what's going on.
Get some
we'll
runs
watch
in.
you do some runs and
the Vans Warped Tour. There'll be some bands playing.
Right, there'll be a few people there, maybe 50,000.
Safe Ferris is going to play. I heard them going to play. That's a Jake. Yeah, some of
We'll
that.
have some action, and then we'll maybe come back for a little treat, some kind of food to finish it off. All right?
Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap us next Sunday. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
With the king, Andy Macdonald, Mr. Postage Stamp. Guy came from X Game, 23 medals, world champion.
I just want to say I really like your helmet today.
You like this thing?
Yeah,
It's
good.
yellow, baby. My favorite color.
We're hanging out at the 25th anniversary of the Vans Warped Tour, and just finished the first demo. I thought, Barry, we should get him warmed up for the second demo, so we'll give him some quick skateboard lessons.
He's gonna teach me how to skateboard. Mom, I got my helmet, see?
All right. So do you know which way you skate, regular or goofy foot?
I guess it's regular, like this.
Regular foot with your left foot forward?
Left foot forward.
All right, so if you skate with your left foot forward, that's regular foot. If you skate with your right foot forward, that's goofy foot.
Yeah, no,
That's good, you're a regular footer, because I'm a regular footer too, all right?
All right, we're clear.
All right, so this is a vertical half pipe ramp. Most important thing, whether you're skating a ramp or just down the street, if you are standing all the way up, you don't have any balance. If you bend your knees, the lower your center of gravity, the better balance you have. Plus, if you're real crouched down, you have less to fall when you do fall, because you're gonna fall.
You wanna be close to the
Eventually,
ground.
you wanna be
Okay.
close to the ground. So, riding a half pipe is just like pumping on a swing.
Right.
So,
Go back and forth.
step on, feet on the bolts.
Okay?
Okay, and back foot on the tail. There you go. And then we're just gonna cruise you back and forth real quick.
All right, I could do a little kickstand, maybe. Right?
We're just doing fakies at first, all right?
Fakies?
Just straight up. These are fakies, where you go straight up and straight back.
Okay.
All right, knees bent. Oh, look at this. Front side kick turn, back side kick turn. Oh, front side. That's actually the hard way to turn. That's the back side.
All right, let me get going.
So when your back's toward the ramp, that's back side. Front side right there. Comes from surfing. Oh, check him out. He don't need help. Big fakie. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Oh!
Come on. I want to get up. I want to get
all
up.
the way to the top and then turn. There you go. Up, then turn. There you go.
I'm gonna get up.
Oh, check him out!
Okay.
Yeah! Front's on 540, this guy. Demo man. I like it. I like it. You see those
We'll have
ninja
to take
skills?
that
The
off
dive
the edit.
tuck?
A little roll, no
And
more
that's how you
shorts.
fall, the dive roll. If you don't have any knee pads on, you just got to go for the dive roll. I like it. Dude, front's on 540.
It's all from you, all from him.
That's tough. Tell him everything he
All
knows.
from Andy. I'll be like you soon, right?
Yeah!
What I want to do is get my breath. I forgot how freaking tired that is. I love that.
You're just turning a little bit too early.
Is that it?
You still have speed to go higher, but you're initiating your turn too early. You want to pump up as much as you can, like use your momentum, pump up, and then there's a spot right before, like
Right.
you haven't quite stopped, but you haven't coming back down. It's just like that one weightless spot. That's when you initiate your turn. You're initiating it. You're still on your way up, so you're like using your momentum up into your turn, and you're losing speed. Pump all the way up until you're almost ready to come down, then turn. There you go. There you go. Pump up, turn, pump down. There you go. There you go. Nice. Yeah. It's above the line. Yeah. Get that front foot on. Oh God, get that front foot on.
JR in New Jersey.
Yes. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. Ew! My God.
All right, King. I love you. You're the man.
Seriously.
It's all you now.
I got it, right? Dude, that's good.
I forgot it.
You're up here. You're above the line up here.
That was my
That's
goal.
legit. That was legit.
Only
God knows
because
what
of
he's
you.
doing. God knows what he's doing.
So,
All right.
so see, that's the key, is being able to not be afraid to fall, right? Because then you push this.
90% of what we do is fall off.
So how do you?
The first thing you learn when you're riding a half pipe is how to fall down. You learn to fall safely, and then the fear goes away because you get comfortable like getting out of whatever you get yourself into.
But the intelligence you gain from falling forward and getting back up for the next trick is invaluable, right?
Yeah. Every time you fall, you're like, oh, I know why. I know why I jumped off. 9 times out of 10, it's because you wimped out, though.
But success will never teach you like failure does when you get back up and do it again, right?
That's what skateboarding's all about. Self-motivation, self-discipline. Like, there's no coaches here going like, okay, here's you do, how'd you do? Like,
Right.
we call them scoaches, skate coaches. Like, rarely will you find skate coaches. It's all self-taught. There's no, you have to do it this way. There's no textbook of like how to do it, how to learn it, what order you have to learn it in. Like, there's fundamentals, there's basics that I told you like when we start out. You got to keep your knees bent or whatever, how to pump. But after that, it's all about the creativity. You're only limited by your imagination on how to do it. And no one's saying like this is the proper way to do it. Everyone has their own interpretation, their own idea of what skateboarding means to them. That's what makes it more of an art form than a sport.
Right. It's amazing. Now, you have to understand, Andy's been doing this since he's a kid in Boston. I won't go through his whole career, which you can see at andymacdonald.com, right? But when you train, hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work hard, the work ethic you have. Talk about focus. How do you get focused when you're skating?
Skating's all I do. People ask me like, oh, do you cross train and do you eat healthy and blah blah. I'm like, I eat terrible. Like I'm big into candy. That's like my one vice. Like I put the Andy in candy, right? And I just love skateboarding. That's what I want to do. That's what my exercise is. That's what keeps my mental. Going to the gym is the most boring thing I can think of to do. And the only time I do it is if I'm hurt and I can't skate. Otherwise, I skate. I skate street, I skate bowls, I skate ramps. Any kind of skateboarding will make you a better skateboarder overall.
Right, even booster board.
Yeah, ride my booster board, electric skateboard around, just developing your core all the time, just riding as much as I can. So when I was, at my prime, probably 8 hours a day I skated. Like, that's what I did for a living, all the time. 8 hours a day, like all day, every day. That's what you do.
This is the best dream in the world to do this.
That's what that was my dream when I was a little kid. Like, wow, those professional skateboarders get paid to ride their skateboard. Like, how cool is that? I want that.
Awesome. Let me tell you something. We're going to continue this. Andy Macdonald is the man who falls forward and gets back up and does tricks that blows people's mind. Sometimes, how many years it takes to learn one trick?
The 540, you saw me do one in the demo.
Yes.
That trick took me 6 years of trying over and over. Literally blood, sweat, and tears. 6 years to do it once. And then I did it once. I still can't do it every time. It took me 3 tries today.
6 years. Remember the secret. When you fail, if you don't get back up, that's where you learn everything. This is about falling forward in life. You ready? We're going to end this. Here we go. I got a helmet. It's all about how you can fall.
Yeah. Check them out.
60 years old.
I'm not doing that. That looks like it hurts.
Let's go.
That looks like it hurts.
Oh.
Andy Macdonald and his partner Tony Hawk went undefeated in the X Games vert doubles competition for 6 straight years.
These two nut jobs started the whole board transfer thing back in '97, and they just continue to raise the stakes.
Our reigning champs, Tony Hawk and Andy Macdonald, the two powerhouses of competitive skateboarding, both legends in their own right.
In life, there's a lot about giving back, and you've done a lot of that. Tell me about Clash of Claremont and how that started and what that's all about.
So, like we were talking about earlier, everything I have in my life I have from skateboarding. So who am I not to give back to skateboarding if I have the opportunity to? About 12 years ago, I was on the board of directors of the YMCA. We needed a new vert ramp, and the X Games was in Los Angeles. They built a new vert ramp every year, so I started bugging the X Games, like, hey, what are you gonna do with your old vert ramp? Got them to donate it to the YMCA, and then the Y needed to put it up, and they got a sponsor to help put it up. At the time it was PacSun, and PacSun was like, okay, we're gonna rebuild this vert ramp. We wanna have a grand reopening of the skate park and invite all the people from the X Games to skate the ramp for a big demo. And I was like, that's an expensive demo. All these guys are getting paid appearance fees and whatever, but tell you what, let's do a benefit, and I'll ask all these guys to come and skate for free because I'm on the board of directors for Grind for Life. Grind for Life is run by a 2-time cancer survivor named Mike Rogers, who's also a pro skateboarder, and he skates the Masters Series. Just super inspirational story. And a lot of people got this operation. He's one of the only people that survived it. Said maybe you'll never walk. And here he is skating again. He's 11 years cancer-free now.
Wow.
And so Grind for Life raises money specifically to get people to the cancer treatments that they need to get to. We do events. There's a Grind for Life skate series, amateur skate park series contest that we raise money and awareness for people with cancer. So Paxton loved the idea. It was a dual benefit for both the YMCA, which is nonprofit, and Grind for Life, which is nonprofit. Had about 2,000 people out. Had Tony Hawk and the boys and myself on the vert ramp. Did big vert demo. Had some bands play live music while we skated the bowl at the end of the day. And big autograph. Everybody gets free stuff. Big festival village, and it turned out great. That was 12 years ago, and we're 12 years in. Been doing it every year. We have about 2,000-3,000 people come out and raise about $20,000 for people with cancer. So. Over the years, yeah, we've raised well over $250,000 for people with cancer. So
that's awesome.
It's good
you
stuff.
know, there's a book I read years ago called I Dare You, and it was the founder of Ralston Purina, and there was just a great quote in there. It said, "Catch a passion for helping others, and a richer life comes back to you." And that's
Absolutely.
the kind of things that like we just had somebody come and get an autograph from you, and somebody else requested because the person who works here skates here, but he doesn't drink, and he works out, and he looks up to you. You don't realize how much you impact people when you're sleeping, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great thing. It's just a great feeling. Congratulations on all of that.
Thank you.
What's your definition of success today after all these years of making a difference in the sport? You're a legend in this sport. Everybody knows that, and I get that from people. So,
success to me has been having been able to do it as long as I have, you know, because I enjoy doing it every day that I get to do it. And I remember distinctly the first time somebody asked me, like, how long do you think you'll get to do this? And I was probably like in my late 20s at the time. How long do you think you'll be a pro skateboarder? And I honestly replied, like, maybe until I'm 32, 34 if I'm lucky or whatever. Here I am, 45 years old, still getting paid to ride a skateboard. So in that regard, I've been successful, being able to have as long and as successful as a career as I've had. But really, to me, the definition of it is, and people say, what's the hardest trick that you've ever done, you know, and they're thinking, I'm going to say 900 or whatever, like, it's not even on the ramp. The hardest trick I've ever done is to have a skateboarding career and a family, to be able to marry the business side of that and still be the dad that I want to be, and be there for my kids and be there for my wife. And there's been hard times, you know. There's times I was traveling 9-10 months out of the year, like, you're not being a dad and a husband when you're traveling that much, you know. So
what did that teach you?
That I have to, as much as I wanted to, like, keep going and it's fun and I'm making money, that I have to be able to pick and choose and go, like, you know what, you don't have to go to every event, you don't have to go to every contest and every demo or whatever. So I've been able to, like, kind of back off a little bit, and I have 3 kids now. I want to be a part of their lives, so that means I have to be home.
Right. There's nothing better than that.
And or take them with me. Like, if we go to someplace exciting, we're all going, you know. So, you know, my daughter's been to Rio de Janeiro, my son's been to China, taking my wife. Every time we're going to France, and my wife's coming with me. She loves France.
Right.
So there's those opportunities as well. And the whole family gets to experience it.
Yeah. Great definition.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about too. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Andy Macdonald, you've been a good friend and a mentor of mine for many years. You know
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You know, and
good times.
It's amazing what you just did up in the air there, and continued success to you. Okay, we'll see you soon. It's Barry Farber, Andy Macdonald on Mind Your Business Special. See you again.
Cheers.
Well, my wife says never to speak while I'm chewing. I just want to take some food in my mouth and dedicate this show to my wife.
That's mean, dude.
No. Right, maybe we shouldn't keep that in here. I got another lose 30 years.
I just want to dedicate this to my wife.
No. All right, we're good?